Joining us tonight, retired four-star General, Fox Business Chief Strategic Analyst, General Jack Keane. General, good to have you with us.
Good to be here, Lou.
It is, for some of us who've been covering this for a long time, and I know you, it has been almost 18 long years of warfare in Afghanistan. Your thoughts about the prospect of peace and the architecture of a framework to negotiate such an end?
Well, there clearly has been some progress, Lou, and what's different is that there's some momentum here. And why is that? Well, first of all, the Taliban in the last 2 to 3 years have been all in after the U.S. pulled all of its forces out except those who are doing training assist mission, and literally tried to take over some provinces, some provincial capitals, and put real pressure on this government. They were not able to do that and sustain that effort. They were able to take back some territory, but nothing that's consequential. So the war is stalemated, and they know that. The second thing, and this is key, Pakistan believes it's no longer in their interest to support this status quo, where they were supporting the Taliban and also supporting the United States. And we've talked about that many times on the air here. Right. So now they want the Taliban at the peace table, and they pushed them to do that. So that is why we're making some progress here. The Taliban recognizing they're not going to come to stalemate. The Afghan government is not going to be able to defeat the Taliban, certainly with the small number of advisors we're providing. And we're moving to a framework to get a ceasefire and eventually some kind of negotiated settlement. But we're a long way from that. Because why? The Taliban have not had one negotiated discussion with the Afghan government, and at the end of the day, that's who they got to make this deal with, because there needs to be some kind of power sharing, some kind of giving up of territory, I would imagine. Certainly we're gonna play at all of that, but that's going to be formidable, to say the least. So progress made, to be sure, but keep a healthy dose of skepticism here in terms of where we're going.
After 18 years, I assure you, my skepticism is intact.
It's well-deserved.
General, turning to China. Today, the sanctions based on the Huawei charges, its chief financial officer awaiting extradition, and bringing the charges against China stealing, but Huawei specifically, U.S. intellectual property, technology from T-Mobile and others. And by the way, we know hundreds of others over the course of the past 10 years. It's a law enforcement action. Many have said it should be a military action against China for what it has done instead of a negotiated framework in a trade document. They are stealing us blind and have been doing so, as you well know, for decades. Your thoughts?
Well, first, that's absolutely true, what you said in terms of stealing us blind for decades. Second is, we do have a president who's standing up to this and attempting to, one, stop this, their economic predators and their bullies, to stop the stealing of intellectual property, to push back on the joint ventures that have taken place inside of China. Now, Huawei, and it's not just with the United States. I mean, this is a worldwide organization that, particularly in emerging nations, literally takes over the service systems in those countries. China comes in with their telecom companies, and they own all the personal intelligence in their country for generations to come. It is absolutely staggering what they've been able to achieve. We should be pushing back on this, but we should not be alone. The other countries in the world need to recognize what the wake-up call that the United States has had, that China is not going to have political reform and join the democracy of nations as a responsible international partner. That is not happening. We know that. We've embraced it. The other countries of the world should as well.
General Jack Keane, good to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, good talking to you, Lou.